we have Alyssa Schomaker. She is a top 10 coach. She is a 2-time elite, and she is a superstar diving coach. She's also a Success Club 10 all-star legend. I told her that if she wanted to build a business, she had to hit Success Club 10 every single month, and she's never skipped a beat, ever since the minute she signed up. So please welcome Alyssa to the stage to share her recipe for success.
Hello everybody, how are you? Wow, this is really loud, and I have a loud voice, so I hope that I don't just really kill everybody's ears, but I'm really excited that you guys are all here to kick off your week of summit with the Dream Team, and I hope that you guys get a lot of really valuable nuggets that you guys can bring home to your business. I want to tell you guys that literally we are all just like you. We all started as brand new coaches, not having any clue what to do. Most of us had absolutely no business experience whatsoever. And so what I want to share with you guys today is really about how your vibe is going to attract your tribe. Figure out how to work this thing first. All right, cool. Okay, so I have a background of being a registered nurse. When I became a coach, I wanted to help everyone. I had no intentions of growing a 6-figure business. I just wanted to help people in challenge groups. So when I started to really treat my business like a business, I looked at other businesses out there and I thought, wow, I've got to have a brand. I have to have a logo. If you look at a Starbucks, Starbucks attracts certain people. Starbucks has a logo. Starbucks knows exactly who it is that they're talking to. And I believe that that has a lot to do with the success of my business. Really knowing my story, really knowing exactly who my target market was, and creating a brand for myself. And so I want to take you guys kind of on a journey of my life, because it has nothing to do about being a top 10 coach. It has nothing about doing a 15-star diamond coach, because that has to do with my team. My team, Royal Republic, is why I'm at where I'm at in my business, but really, it's the events that I'm going to lead you on today that made me who I am. And it doesn't start out at the top. It actually starts out at the bottom. For me, I came from a broken family. My stepfather is an alcoholic. My mom is anorexic. We moved around a lot as a kid. I was pretty much a loner. Besides having my 2 brothers as my best friends, we moved around so much that I would make friends with people, but then we would leave. And so I had trust issues. I never felt like I fit in with anybody. And growing up with a mother that had anorexia and bulimia, I was taught at a really young age this idea of having to be perfect. This idea that I had to have look a certain way. And by the time that I was 14 years old, I moved into a school district where what people were driving really mattered. What you were wearing really mattered. And I ended up with a full-blown eating disorder myself. I clearly remember sitting at a lunch table for 4 years of my life with a bagel that I cut up into 4 pieces. I would eat 2 pieces of that bagel for lunch and save the other 2 before skiing, soccer, or golf. I did this for 4 years of my entire life. And the weird thing was it wasn't just me. There was a whole other sea of girls at the high school that I went to that did the same thing. I really used food to try to hold together everything that I felt was so broken. It was really my control piece. And when I was 16 years old is when I first learned that taking care of other people felt fabulous. It made me feel like my life meant something to somebody else. I volunteered at a nursing home working in an Alzheimer's unit. Knowing that being there what I was doing really made a difference in the life of another person, it made me feel so good. And it made me feel so good, and I look back now that it was really selfish. It was really selfish that I went there and I cared for these other people. Not so much because I liked to care for the other person so much, but because it made me feel like I was valuable, and that my life really made a difference. And I liked that addiction so much that I became a registered nurse. So here I was walking through my life. I never dealt with my anorexia, I never dealt with my bulimia. I kind of covered it up by being a registered nurse because I like to care for other people. And when I was 24, my life really kind of hit rock bottom. My parents were trying to get me to go to therapy for a long time. For my anorexia, I never did. I actually remember a couple times that I told them that I went, but I never went. And when I was 24, I was in a relationship with somebody for quite a while, and our relationship ended. And this is when I feel like my transformation and my journey really started. I moved from Minneapolis out to Pittsburgh as a traveling nurse, and I started to get therapy, and I started to really work on myself as an individual and all of the things that happened in my life that led up to that moment. All the reasons why I struggled with body image and why I was using food to control and why I never really decided to work on myself. They always say that when you hit rock bottom, you either bounce back or you're gonna stay down there. You're gonna mellow in your ways. And I believe that that's really when I started to bounce back. It's really when I started to love myself. I was in an apartment all by myself. I had nothing really to do but to really work on myself. And so I went to therapy and I started working on myself, and I met my amazing husband, who I wish was here with me today, and I had 2 kids, and I went on, and I want to say that anorexia and bulimia, you guys, it never goes away. It's that devil that you can silence on your shoulder, but it never goes away. And so I yo-yo dieted for a long, long time. I was always at 15 pounds up, 15 pounds down. I had my 2 kids. The first 2, I gained 50 pounds with them. I struggled again with my body disorder. So my transformation with Beachbody is a lot different than anybody else's out here. I never really was that really overweight person because I was going to get myself back down again just because of my history of anorexia and bulimia. But for me, you guys, life went on. It was great. It was absolutely perfect. I was love being a nurse. I loved caring for others. Yeah, I came home. It was just really joyful. Until 4 years ago, my whole entire life changed. It's like the whole world got dropped out from underneath me. And I want to tell you that healthcare is not the same as it was before. Who in this audience is in healthcare? If you guys could show me a raise of hands. Okay, so who can relate with me here? Has healthcare changed since when you started your position? Raise your hand if you can tell and answer me this question. Okay, so I knew this. I knew that my patients were sicker. I knew that staffing was a lot more stressful. I knew that at the end of the day, I didn't feel like I was making a difference anymore. The one thing that I really wanted to do when I became a nurse was to make a difference. And I didn't feel like I was making a difference anymore because in nursing, nobody is there to tell you that you made a difference in their life. You leave at the end of the day with a satisfaction and a gratification that you have made a difference. And I wasn't feeling that anymore. Well, 4 years ago, on December 14th, my grandfather ended up in the hospital. He had congestive heart failure, he had fallen, and he was really on his deathbed. Couldn't get him off of his oxygen, and by the grace of God, we were able to get him moved from an ICU down into a step-down unit. My grandfather was on that step-down unit for 4 hours. Within a 4 hours time, he was supposed to be on a low bed, he fell out of bed, he aspirated, and he died within 24 hours. And after that happened, I realized that I could not be a nurse any longer. I went back to nursing, but I struggled. I felt like I couldn't leave that person's room because if I left, I didn't know what was going to happen in that other person's room. And so my coach, Melanie, she'd asked me to be in some challenge groups multiple times, and I turned her down over and over and over again. But during this time, I wanted to do anything to keep people out of the healthcare system. And so I saw this ad on Facebook for a combat event. And I went to the combat event and I started learning more about what these challenge groups were. And I decided at that moment that I was going to be a coach so that I could run challenge groups to keep people out of the healthcare system. That is why I became a coach. I didn't become a coach because I was going to be a six-figure earner. I did it because I wanted to keep people out of the healthcare system. I was mad. I was mad about what was going on there. And for me, that fueled my fire. It fueled me to invite. It fueled me to get over my fears. And so the whole reason why I tell you guys this story is that I tell this story over and over and over again on social media. And I believe that the power of your story is the most important thing that you have. It's going to set you apart from the 350,000 other Beachbody coaches out there. We can't run a business without understanding what our brand is, who it is that we want to attract, and what our story is going to do so that you can use it as passion and energy to be that changing agent in somebody else's life. So my first call to action for you guys is, who are you? Not who are you, the 15-star diamond, top 10, whatever this lanyard says on you, because that's not who you are. Who you are the events that have molded you into the person that you are today. And I want you to think about that. What do you stand for? And also, and we're going to go into this, who is it that you want to really attract? Facts tell and stories sell. Okay? So no more posting of pictures of the fix, pictures of pyro, none of that stuff. Tell your story, your authentic self, and believe in the power and what you have been able to overcome and how that can help another person. So my first tip is, what is your story? Oh, I don't know how to off. Okay, so second thing I want to talk about is, how do you attract people like you to your business? I believe that part of your story is the most important thing. But you also have to know, who is it that you want to work with? And I have my coaches do this assignment, and let me tell you, they give me a ton of backlash. Nobody wants to do this assignment. As I look over here at these girls, and they've got these little smiles on their faces, because they know that they hate to do this assignment. So I want you to think about, in your mind, who is it that you actually want to attract in your business, and go from the point of their age, their demographics. Are they married? Where do they live? What are their hobbies? What are their fears? What do they enjoy? What do they want from out of their life? What are they searching for on Google? Where are they shopping? And then from there, I want you to live where these people live. So I'm going to give you guys a quick example of this. For example, if your market is moms, because I see a lot of women here in the audience, if your market is moms, where are these moms shopping? What are these moms looking for on Google? Okay? What types of things are they talking about? When are they on social media? Most of the time, in the morning, maybe at nap time, and at evening after the kids have gone to bed. So you need to be posting when your audience is around, right? Or else they're going to completely miss it. If you guys all have a Facebook business page, I don't want you to just type in mom. I want you to type in, when you're doing a targeted audience, I want you to type in stroller strides, parenthood. I want you to type in, Google, Amazon moms. That's a really good one you guys can use. How about like Gymboree? You know, they've got the Gymboree play centers. I want you to start thinking very specific about where your target market is on social media and make it very, very specific, okay? So after you leave here, I want you to think about your coach avatar and either create a Pinterest board or a file and really think about who this individual person is. All right, next, these are just some quick social media tips for you guys on how you guys can use my tips here. So when you're posting on social media, I want you to post like you're talking to one person. It is one person behind the phone. It is one person behind the computer. So you can't say like, hey y'all, you want to join my challenge group? No, you need to talk to one person because the one person is your audience. Next, make sure that you're posting with clarity and purpose. What do you want your audience to know about you? What do you want them to do? Have your posts evoke emotion. This is going to come from the stories that you share. Share that time of your life, you guys, over and over and over again. Nobody wants to see your highlight reels. Nobody wants to see it. They want to hear about your backstage pass. They want to hear about the things that you've overcome and where you're at now, and that you are there to inspire them for change. So be brave, be bold, be you, and be confident in being who you are, so that your story can become the next Beachbody fairy tale. Thank you, everyone.